Welcome back, brothers and sisters. I am Braden. This is Langley Outdoors Academy, and thank you for stopping by. All right, guys, as usual, we have got some incredibly important news because a pattern is developing in the gun control left areas of focus. This is something that we cover all the time on this channel. We cover really two things: the why behind the actions and patterns that develop, and we tie those two things together, and you get a perfect picture of their intentions and their plans. And that's what we're going to talk about tonight in our quest to hand on the next generation, the Second Amendment, and the blessing thereof. Now, this is incredibly important because this is something that Ralph Northam just announced on Friday, and I want you to keep this in mind as we read this going forward. A politician, like an animal, is always most dangerous when cornered and has no place to go. And that has been on my mind for a while, and as we go into the political season of 2022, and we start to see more and more administrations have less and less power, less places to go, they become more desperate and more dangerous to achieve their goals. And that's what we have here, a perfect example. That's what we're going to talk about because another pattern is establishing. Now, this is, of course, going to be audio because my face is still not camera worthy. Like I said, I don't want to break that beautiful phone you're watching me on. So we're going to dive into this audio. I'll probably be back on video in about 5 to 10 days, depending on how I finish up healing. And you can follow that progress story at Langley Outdoors on Instagram if you want to. But now, let's dive into this article because this is really important. And I want to know what you guys think. It's in the comments field below if you want to check out the articles themselves. Let's dive in. Virginia Governor Northam announces $27.4 million towards gun violence prevention. Okay, that should sound some alarm bells because that's what they always say. Anytime that you hear a leftist go into common sense gun reform or gun violence prevention or funding for gun violence prevention, that is a big red flag that says, whoa, this is gun control. Here's what I mean. Check this out, and you tell me in the comments field when you see the pattern establishing. Lynchburg, Virginia. Virginia Governor Ralph Northam announced that his proposal, 2-year budget, includes $27.4 million for gun violence prevention. Okay, well, the devil's in the details. Let's dive in. He plans to create a data-driven approach by establishing Virginia's Center for Firearm Violence Intervention and Prevention. Now, that should sound a lot of alarms in your brain. Let me know in the comments field if it does, because something happened earlier this year in a great state called Colorado, very similar. Let's keep going. The state agency would collect and analyze information on firearm violence, then report to localities and community-based organizations addressing the issue, not vague or concerning at all. It would be based at the Department of Criminal Justice Services. Now that sounds just like Colorado when they came out after an incident and a tragedy that they had there, passed 5 different sweeping gun legislations, and one of them was the Office of Gun Violence and Prevention underneath the Colorado Department of Health. That should sound familiar because we covered it. If you don't believe me, go back to about April and May of this year and you'll see the video all about it. That is what they are building. They are building a structure of multiple different departments and bureaucracies across different states that are going to pool their resources. If you go back into other things that we've covered from New Jersey, New York, all these different governors signing basically agreements to work together, it's starting to tie together. Do you see it? That's what they're building. They're building a shadow database. Northam made Friday's announcement in Richmond alongside prevention advocates, including Lori Haas. Lori Haas should also be sounding alarm bells for you in your brain. We did a video about a week and a half ago, all about how the NRA in Virginia, was going to ask Glenn Youngkin, the governor incumbent, to remove Lori Haas because she is the brainchild of all gun control in the Ralph Northam administration. Well, knock, knock, here she is again, pushing this before the legislative changes. She's with the Coalition to Stop Gun Violence and the mother of a survivor from the 2007 Virginia Tech shooting. Now, here's the piece from Colorado. Office of Gun Violence Prevention. Concerning establishing an Office of Gun Violence Prevention and, in conjunction therewith, making an appropriation. This is the actual bill that created it. We covered it on this channel. But this gets back to the entire point of what I wanted to discuss. You've got a lot of people that are losing power very quickly that we're not expecting to lose power. Virginia is a perfect case in point. So they are pushing the accelerator and they're trying to get it across the goal line before the buzzer sounds. The reason it's in this budget and Lori Haas is involved is because Lori Haas is probably not going to be involved in the next administration. Gun control is all of a sudden being under threat from the Virginia Republicans, and now they're trying to get it over the goalpost before the buzzer hits so they can get their achieved goals to get in line with all the other states that have done the exact same thing. This is incredibly important, and I'm going to close with the same thing I said earlier in this episode. A politician, like an animal, is always most dangerous when cornered and has no place to go. It's a little southern, it's a little hokey, but it could not be more true. And that's what I have for you guys tonight. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and I will see you on the next one. I'm Braden, signing out.